I'm all for people. Like, I technically want to run a campaign where the party is the bad guys. They're evil. All of them. Yeah. I ran. When I was still in the military, I ran an evil campaign. Where, like, it started off fucking weird, but there were two liches. One was like a fucking gnome or some shit, and the other one was like some kind of human. And they knew each other back from their days at the fucking Wizarding Academy, and they were like, "Oh, you decided to be a lich too, huh? Guess what? I beat you to it. You steal my formula. I was the one writing a thesis on it."
No, I love that.
It was so good. And one of them liked to fucking projectile diarrhea at people as a combat move. But it he did it so often that oftentimes he couldn't do it. So he like prepare and it's like, well, you shit very recently, so you can't. Also, you're a lich, dude. You're bones at this point. None of you know gentle repose. You're all level
Holy
1.
shit. I hate gnomes.
Yeah, there was. So they had like a gnome
That
lich.
would be
They had
some funny
another
damage.
lich. And then they had another lich beyond that. If I went back into my recordings, I could probably find it because I record every session. That both ones that I DM and that I'm just a player in, I record everything because sometimes there's such a long distance between sessions that I really need to just listen and see what the fuck was going on. That's how I take notes. It's just record the whole session.
Well, if one of your eats the rest of the liches, it'll be a super lich.
They all have contingency magic jars, so... And... Yeah, it wouldn't work the way you'd expect it to. They would just possess whoever is trying to eat them.
Alrighty, guys. Have a good night.
You too,
Aw,
man.
damn. Alright. Have a good one.
Yeah. I'm playing more. I really do. Never had enough time. But, good luck.
You too, man.
Yeah, one of the
You too,
liches
man.
was relatively new in like fresh body. So they went into this town, they started setting it on fire while one of them was fucking this chick in the in one of the houses, and then the house catches on fire while he's still banging her, and he's just like, "Oh, don't pay it any mind, let it go." And the chick's freaking out, so he just kills her and keeps going because you're fucking evil. Go for it.
Oh boy. Yes, that is quite evil.
Yeah. And then they're trying to figure out which one of them set the fire, only to find out that none of them's actually the one that did it, and that there's a whole another group of evil bandits attacking the village right now, and they've got to defend it so that they can keep pillaging it themselves.
Nice.
So I'm like, you ain't the only evil bitches in this fucking world. I have evil people too that want to do stuff.
Glorious.
And that's another thing. People don't seem to catch that, like, for campaigns where you're the good guys, you aren't the only good guys. You aren't the one party trying to solve a particular issue. So I
Exactly.
like to make things competitive. Sometimes during good guy campaigns, I'll have the party come across a whole nother party already in a dungeon that is trying to, like, get loot and shit there too. And they're either gonna have to work together or kill them and take their stuff.
Exactly.
Or convince them to leave.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, I love thinking outside the box like that a lot for stuff.
I want to do like a futuristic D&D campaign, but
I feel like it's not glorious if the party isn't almost dead or someone dies.
Well, I run by the general idea that it should take you up to 4 encounters before all of your spell slots are expended or your health pools are starting to run low. And the group I play with, both everyone that's played as a DM and everyone that's played as a character doesn't seem to understand that you shouldn't wake up, get an hour into your day, almost die, and have to take another long rest. It's like because you almost died an hour after waking up. It's so... We just got 16 hours of sleep because I woke up, followed a rabbit, and then a giant group of wolf spiders attacked us. The DM was controlling the rabbit and had the rabbit that I was friends with take me straight into a wolf spider den, and then we had to fight a shit ton of wolf spiders. All of our spell slots were used, some of us were almost dead, some of us were poisoned, and then we just went back to our camp and slept another 8 hours so that we could heal up and shit. And I'm like, we didn't progress this session. We left camp, almost died, and came back. For what?
XP.
I don't even know if we got a lot
I
of
hope
XP
the
for
XP
that.
was worth it.
See, that's why I don't play XP. I play milestones.
Yeah, and this DM
Yeah.
does milestones too. So I
Yeah.
was like, what was the point of that encounter?
Yep, absolutely nothing.
It was the first time we got combat in that
I
campaign.
only trigger big
but
stuff if it's
he-
a milestone.
And I'm not very well liked at the table due to me wanting to think outside the box, wanting to do stuff, and I like to... Whenever I cast shit like Detect Magic or whatever, I want it to do exactly what the spell says it does, and not more or less. But they sometimes want to make it so that I'm detecting more than I should, as if I cast a spell like Augur instead of Detect Magic. I'm like, I just want to know, is there magic? What school is it? That's all I want. You don't need to tell me what spell, whatever. I just want the 2 pieces of information the spell's supposed to give me.
Yep.
But these guys can't seem to wrap around their heads that the whole point of these spells saying what they do is that they are supposed to do that.
Yeah.
Right, they're supposed to do what they say they do. Nothing more, nothing less.
This guy's running a campaign where a whole new type of magic exists. And I'm like, that's totally cool. I detect a magic that I've never seen before. That's it. I can't identify it because it's a magic that I've never... It's not any of the traditional schools of magic. So, what I detect is a new school of magic that no one has ever seen before. Too easy. Now I just need to figure out what the fuck this school of magic is. It's fine by me.
Yep.
But they didn't even want to do that. He said that I was sensing, like, primordial energy and this and that, and I'm like, don't overcomplicate the spell I cast. I detected magic. Is there magic? Yes. What school? A school I don't know. Cool, thanks. Then
honestly, a Zero Squad D&D game would be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I can dedicate a portion of my Discord to a Zero Squad D&D game if you guys want. I would just trust
I know for
you
sure
guys.
I would be down.
I would just trust you guys on your rolls and shit. I don't know how to get one of those Discord bots that does rolls, so a lot of times I've just done the D&D through like visual chats, stream calls, that kind of thing.
Yeah. One I'm not too sure on, but
yeah, I mean, I would just if I could figure out how to do a dice roller for the Discord, or you guys should just tell me the numbers you roll. Cool. if someone's constantly
Uh,
rolling high numbers, I'll be like, maybe I should get a dice roller for you.
We could.
Yeah?
Yeah, you wouldn't even have to use it for character tokens, maps, or anything like that. You could literally just use it for dice rolling.
Yeah, I like using the maps and stuff. I like to lay out the combat arenas and the cities you go in, at least like a topographical bird's eye view of things, so that you guys can
Right.
actively walk the city. I gotta pee. I also want to use like Tabletopia or something at some point.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Really, you mean single fucking side of Grace over there?
What, where?
Oh, okay, never mind.
I do a mix of milestone and experience.
Mm-hmm. That's usually...
Yeah, because I had a group get to the Golden City, right? One person's like,
Mhm.
I'm just gonna go to the arena in town and constantly get into fights and level that way. Other people were like, I'm just gonna bet on that. And other people were like, I want to go help out the local police force with any problems they're having, because he's a really good detective style character. I'm like, okay, cool. they'll separate the detective style character and the person that's constantly fighting in the arena leveled up. And everyone else is like, why? They're doing things.
Yep.
They're doing things that cause them to gain experience. And, frankly, milestones, because the detective's probably progressing some kind of plot. So I got this level 7 Minotaur in the Gladiator arenas, this level 5 detective, and the other people are like level 3s from since they got to the city. And it's like, whenever you guys still get into combat, I'm still going to manage the challenge rating so that it's something all of you can fight. You got level 7s, you got level 3s, and you got level 5s, you're going to end up fighting probably level 4 to 5 enemies in large enough groups that they can challenge the 7. Or you'll fight like a singular level 10 enemy. Because I've had campaigns where people feel like sheer numbers and like, oh hey, you're a party of 5 level 1s, I'm gonna throw 17 level 3 enemies at you for some reason. I'm like, what the fuck is this about? But I've had...
How does that make any sense?
Because the default challenge rating that D&D gives you is ridiculous. Like, we had a group of 7 level 1s. The guy threw 2 Yetis at us for our first encounter. These are like challenge rating 8 enemies, because he's like, well, challenge rating 8, you have 8 level 1s, la-di-da, and it checks out book-wise, but people are like, you should usually, like, have it. Because Yetis can one-shot us.
True.
Especially, like, our wizards and stuff that have, like, 4 goddamn health. Ooh, Marine Flare, that's good. Yeah.
It started out, you know, we make our characters and whatever, and we think of this backstory, and the DM goes, great.
Okay.
And so, you know, we wake up, and we get out of the hole. We come to the room where many years since we played this one, so I don't remember all the details, but there was a room with relics in it, and you could pick the relics, and that kind of like decided your class for you. So it was actually really cool. Like, there was a tree branch. The one I remember because I picked this one. There was a tree branch, and when I picked it up, it turned into a two-handed longsword. And then there was like a piece of rope, which turned, when you picked it up, turned into a whip. And there was like a broomstick, which turned into a great axe. And in this room, the devil took his legs, so he was just the top half of his body.
Okay.
And we called him Stumpy after that. And he had to learn how to like crawl and eventually use his great axe as like, if you've ever played Getting Over It.
Yeah. Alright. Okay.
And then we go, you get back to the room that we went to, and then you forward, and we're like, oh, hey, that's weird. We watched you die, now you're back here. So then me and another person did a test. We're like, well, okay, if we die, we come back. What happens if I kill you? So
Okay.
up in a hole again, and we got out and we saw each other, and we went back to where we thought the room that we were in was, and no one else was there. And eventually we get to this room with a lake, and I had through some persuasion with the DM of where if you looked into it, it looked like the world was a mangled mess underneath the lake. I jumped into the lake, and I popped out at the other side and was surrounded by 3 other figures that were... It literally looked like they were turned inside out.
Oh, okay.
I need to find something.
Sounds like your DM was trying to run a Cthulhu-esque insanity campaign, which I run insanity too, along with Taint, and I try to run as many of the different modifiers for a campaign as I can, using 3.5.
Well, after I see these figures, he goes, alright, stop. Now to the other party, you 3 see a horribly disfigured, turned inside out figure jump out from the lake. Yeah. So
It wasn't
we
that.
had to, thank you. So many different kinds of back and forth of people jumping through and jumping through again that eventually even the DM was like, wait a minute, alright, stop.
Yeah, that's what happens when you don't have like a clear-cut rule on what works.
Yeah. It was meant to be like, oh, we have to figure it out, but we're all very stupid.
Nobody needs this anymore.
It was a fun campaign, though. Played as an ASMR, and that over and over. It was
Any of this
a
Yeah, sounds like it. The most ridiculous thing I've done where people had to jump in and out of anything was a mirror that changed your sex and alignment.
Okay.
This will come in handy.
So if you were male, lawful good, and stepped into the mirror, you became a lawful evil female. Same race, same class. Same motivations. You're just evil now. And a chick. And anyone that saw you step out would obviously see that your sex changed, but they wouldn't know you're evil now. And you could just kind of do with that what you would. Or step back through the mirror and become a good guy again. Literally.
Fair enough.
And if you were a true neutral and you stepped in the mirror, nothing happened. So
It's very hard to properly play a true neutral character.
true neutral is almost exclusively the only way I play.
I just don't really
my
see it, play it because, as written, if you follow it to the T, then your character would have absolutely no motive to what they're doing.
No, it's about maintaining balance between good and evil. Trying to maintain a status quo or make the status quo something where no one is hostile towards others.
Okay.
Yeah, it's basically like never trying to create a conflict.
Okay, that I can understand more.
Yeah. I like the way the Fate series does true neutral pretty well, because take like the archer character that Tosaka summons. You've seen Fate, right? Like unlimited blade works and stuff.
Actually, no, I have not.
Okay. Well, they do the Holy Grail Wars.
It's so cold.
There's good people, there's bad people involved, la-di-da. True neutral is like the counterforce that gets summoned whenever the Holy Grail War isn't doing its proper function. And it's just there to eliminate all the servants and then just say, alright, you're done. Try again next time. Y'all are just killing the fucking townspeople and not each other. Try again next time.
This
It's
stuff will
supposed
come
to
in
be
handy.
7 masters, 7 servants, battle royale, fight to the death, but there are other people, and you're not supposed to kill them because it'll give away the like secrets of magic and shit. And the mages are supposed to keep the whole thing on the down low. If you fail to keep it on the down low, the counterforce shows up and says, okay guys, you're giving away too much and you're hurting humanity, so stop. You can hurt humanity, but not using this. Leave. So they take care of the problem and then they just fuck off. If you want to kill humanity, yeah, you can keep doing it. You just can't do it using the Holy Grail.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Why am I fighting?
Useful.
so
Why am I
that
fighting Margit again?
that Warforged character I was telling you about, the Warforged Bard, he's a true neutral. He's a pacifist. He will not engage in combat if he can avoid it. He will only engage in combat as a form of self-defense and a last resort. And I'm a charisma build, so I always try to talk you out of the fight first. I even learned the spells comprehend languages and comprehend animals or beasts or whatever the fuck it is, so that even when we come across animals in the wild, I will try to talk them out of a fight first. Like, I get it, wolves, you're hungry. How about we cook some stew for you instead of you eating us? I even tried to talk to the wolf spiders that killed us, and I was friends with the rabbit that led me to the wolf spiders, and I was like, okay, I'm outnumbered by these wolf spiders, because when I encountered the wolf spiders, I was by myself, because I was the only fucker that followed the rabbit for some reason. So, the DM basically put me in a 4v1 against my level 1 character. I'm like, I don't care what your challenge rating says, a 4v1 is not accurate for a level 1 fighting in a D&D campaign. If I'm gonna fight an enemy, it has to be one level 1 enemy. That's proper challenge rating. See, I didn't say anything about it because I was like, obviously he's intending for the rest of the party to be involved. I'm part of a party. I just happen to be by myself right now, I guess. So I ran first thing. And then whenever I got back to the party and the wolf spiders were chasing after my ass, I was like, hey, I'm going to try to talk these guys down real quick while you guys prepare to kill their asses. Alright, have fun. Hey, wolf spiders, I get it. You're hungry, whatever. I'm made of metal. I am not food. My character, wolf spiders do poison damage with their attacks, right? My character is a warforged. I have advantage against poison attacks. I have a higher chance of taking half damage from poison. And I'm just like, look, spiders, I threw meat to the side while you were chasing me. I had my unseen servant run around and dance with it in front of you, and you guys completely ignored it and went after me. I don't understand your methodology here. If you want food, I gave you food. If you're after the rabbit, I was feeding that food. Well, trying to. I didn't know. It's a jackalope. The rabbit was a jackalope. So it was a rabbit with an antler on its head, because we're in the Feywild, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck these things eat, so I offered it meat at one point. And it was like, yeah, no, I don't like that. So I was like, okay, cool. You have any friends that like meat? And then it led me to the wolf spiders. I'm like, these aren't friends, they're trying to kill you. And I feel like, since I'm not well liked in the real life crew I play with, due to me being overly analytical and, like, wanting things to do what they're supposed to, detect magic supposed to detect magic, detect secret doors supposed to detect secret doors, and the mechanism for opening it. They'll say, hey, you detect secret door, but you don't have any idea of how to open it. It's like, okay, I should know how to open it, I just don't have what's required to open it. Maybe it's password, I don't know the password. Maybe it's lever, and the lever's not on this side of the door. Maybe it's attunement, I'm not attuned. Don't just tell me I don't know how to open it when the spell says you know how to open it.
No, you're just thinking too much. You're using your brain.
And that's the thing, when I DM'd for them, I gave them the opportunities to have these spells, but they're so used to detect magic and detect secret door being completely worthless spells that they didn't even bother learning them from my campaign. Because I guess their reasoning is, these spells are worthless, why would you ever know them? And I'm like, but they're reconnaissance spells. You use them to figure out how to approach a situation. Yeah. Like, I'm a recon pacifist dude. My pacifist bard doesn't know a single offensive spell. I started off with Thunderclap as part of my randomized moveset, and I replaced it with Comprehend Animals. Because I'm like, I'm not going to use Thunderclap. I'm a pacifist. The funny thing about the pacifist is the story for my character is, you know, tactical droids from Star Wars, like the not Roger ones, but the ones with the yellow eyes and the goofy heads and torsos that are like the command bots. He's supposed to be that kind of personality type. He's got two faces for two personalities, one of which is a programmed personality that is supposed to be a tactician battle droid. It will give you commands that will result in you harming people, but he himself will never attempt combat. And then I have Red Eye's face, who is extremely violent, but also can only speak in rhyme. And the female, the yellow face is a female voice called Cynthia, and it's called Cynthia, Synthya, model 5500. And the other version is called Screet, which is not a programmed personality. It's an actual person who was placed in to try to make the machine more violent. So it's like a mix between a robo-brain saying, "Hey, you should run, I am trying to kill you," or "Don't let the voice fool you, I'm a lethal killing machine. But I can't, because the fucking
Hope nobody needs to
3
see
laws built into the base Warforged here keep me from killing you." So I've got an incredibly violent, possibly evil character, and a true neutral character. Or maybe I've got like a really good and a really evil character mixed into one to make an overall true neutral character.
Okay. Well, that... See, I like that interpretation of it. That's a creative way of doing it.
Yeah, and no matter how hostile my Warforged Screet wants to be, he can't be, because Cynthia doesn't know any offensive spells. What am I gonna do? Fucking cast Comprehend Animals to try to hurt you? Comprehend language?
I'm gonna comprehend the shit out of you.
Detect magic. I have the ability to, I guess, part of comprehend languages is I can speak your language too, so we can have a full-on conversation. I know message. I can communicate. My most offensive spell would probably be Unseen Servant, because you can at least command Unseen Servant to attack people, but it only has a strength score of 2, so, you know, Unseen Servant's not gonna do damage.
Right.
The most Unseen Servant can do is maybe grab a tower shield and act like an interposing hand between me and the enemy. This is 5th edition too, so I'm like, you know, it's whatever. 3.5,
Right.
I would just use interposing hand instead of Unseen Servant. And in 3.5, Unseen Servant was a lot more useful, and they had to really make it useless, because people would use Unseen Servant for reconnaissance purposes and have it report to them, whereas Unseen Servant in 5th edition literally will not do anything unless you command it to. And it'll just do that action. And it can't communicate with you telepathically. It's not smart enough to do charades. So it's just, hey, go fetch some coffee for me. That's the purpose of the Unseen Servant. Hold
Oh my god.
Yeah. Or juggle. Because I'm a bard. Sometimes having Unseen Servant helps with my act. I can throw a ball and have it get caught in midair. I also know Mage Hand. Because, you know, all my stuff is to enhance my performances, if I ever get a fucking chance to do one. We haven't interacted with another goddamn human that isn't a player character in this campaign yet. Okay, we're trying to save the Feywild, so whatever, but who's to say bards don't put on performances for forest creatures too, you know? I mean, Snow White was a thing, and so's goddamn Tangled, and Rapunzel. And I've got, it's not like Charm Person, because Charm Person makes them hostile towards you once the spell effect ends. I've got, like, Befriend Animal. I can befriend any intelligence score of 4 or less, 3 or less animal, it doesn't get a save or anything. It's just, you're my friend now for 24 hours.
We're friends now.
Yeah.
We're gonna have fish tacos.
Yeah, we're friends now. And then my bunny friend, controlled by the DM, led me into a death trap of spiders because, you know, the fucking party wants to kill me. But no one wants to do it straightforwardly enough. They just want to lead me to my death. Yeah, it's this group of people, and these are Skelly's friends who don't treat her very well. So I'm like, you know, I'm just waiting for them to fuck it up so that we have an excuse not to show up anymore. Like, oh yeah, why didn't you guys show up? I don't know, you guys murdered me in straight up cold blood. Because they know if they piss me off enough that I don't show up, Skelly's not gonna show up. Because I'm her ride, and frankly, she only wants to be there because I want to go. Because I like D&D. I don't care how toxic the people are. I like D&D.
Right.
Ooh, I'm carrying more than 30 pounds of food? Go yes. Softwood, hardwood, reclaimed wood, sticks, bandages, matches, rifle cartridges, hatchet, lantern, potable water. Okay.
Magma worms.
Sounds kinky. Oh. And whenever I do campaigns, I have a very personal, I guess, love for hell wasps, oddly. I like hell wasps. And there's so many games that use hell wasps that I'm like, there's no reason not to. And I like, Dishonored 2 has the blood flies. The way blood flies behave in Dishonored 2 is exactly the way hell wasps work in D&D. They're just specifically hell creatures. But I'm like, well, if Dishonored can flavor them to be blood flies, then why can't Circana, the desert country, have blood flies? We've got sand flies. These things are just things that bite you and inject something into your bloodstream that eventually makes you part of their hive mind.
Ooh, that would not be fun.
It's really not. Because, in Dishonored 2, I think they use the people as breeding grounds while they're still alive. And eventually they guard the nest and shit. And then it's kind of similar to what happens with the Plague Rats 2, where the Weepers protect the Plague Rats.
Mm-hmm.
And I was all very fascinated by all that, so I rolled it all up together. I love taking elements, and this is the thing I love about D&D. You can't experience bugs in D&D unless you are intentionally playing a video game inside of D&D so that you can have bugs. And glitches. There are so many games that I'm like, oh man, this is really great. Now, if only I didn't fall through the floor. I can't tell you how many games
Well-
I've played where it's just like, man, I fucking love this. I fell through the floor. I lost all my stuff. God damn it.
There is one way to experience bugs and glitches in D&D.
Playing a game.
Base vanilla D&D. No. No.
I mean, you
Wild
can play.
magic sorcery.
Yeah, I've done wild magic. You can
I
also
love
play
wild magic.
actual video games in base D&D. There's nothing about D&D like 3.5 Dungeons and Dragons that you can't mechanically apply to a space thing. My campaign is one long timeline. It's one campaign. You're inserted wherever the heck you want to be in it. It goes from like prehistoric dinosaurs all the way to spacefaring Warhammer 40k style races. I even have it so that in my like medieval, the standard D&D campaign, you are capable of entering space because magic is supposed to be indiscernible from technology, right? Like, if technology is advanced enough, the unlearned person will think it's magic. Electricity, that kind of shit. I've got mages who built ships in cities that can lift off the ground and go to space. If they really wanted to. Wizard's Tower? Are you sure that's not just a rocket ship? That kind of stuff. I have a wizard who launched satellites into space with giant steel rods on them, so that whenever he wants, if someone pisses him off, he can have one of those detach and launch
These
at that
rods
person's
from the
position.
gods.
Yeah, a rod will drop through the planet's atmosphere, burn through the atmosphere, or be in geosynchronous orbit, and that rod hitting the ground will cause, a giant crater to show up. It's like you just called down an asteroid. And it's going to be followed by an explosion because it just fell out of the goddamn atmosphere. The only thing stopping a person from doing things in D&D is the DM and their own imagination. Because I've run GURPS, which is Generic Universal Role-Playing System, which is supposed to be used for literally everything. Using a point-buy system for everything. You could be a psionic rogue or whatever the fuck you can do literally anything you want because it's generic universal role-playing system. That's the whole fucking idea. D&D's meant to be medieval, but there's nothing saying you can't flavor your spells so that some of it's technology and some of it's actual magic.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we had this city that had magic. It was magic, but it was lights worked like real life lights, and you couldn't see any wiring or anything like that. It was all magic powered, but
yeah,
to the average person,
Labyrinth
that would have
of
been
Magic anime.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. My Golden City basically is like that. It's a city where they made a shit ton of stuff out of gold, and they discovered it. They mined it all out from underneath the city, and then they built a city under the city and did basically the same thing they did in Labyrinth of Magic, where all the poor people just live there. But instead of having it be underneath the city, exclusively, I have slum districts where people hang out, and instead of having to pay taxes or do anything, they just live there and have their life slowly ebb away while they power the city. And anyone who doesn't want to fucking deal with anything just lives there. And even after you die, people will become ghosts and continue to ebb away like that as well. And there are wards on the doors to the other districts of the city that keep the ghosts from escaping after you die, so they can keep providing energy to the city. one of my player characters, this chick that was a green dragon in life, like max level green dragon, decided she'd start off the campaign as a ghost. Well, I'm like, okay, well, you were a level 20 green dragon, and to reach level 20 as a green dragon, you simply need to be of age. You just need to be 40,000 years old. But you're a level 1 ghost of a green dragon that used to be level 20. If you ever inhabit your body, I'll make you instantly level 20 because you'll be taking over your 40,000-year-old body. Well, she never bothered to do that. She,
Alright, fair choice.
She manifested as a ghost so that she could possess people. She possessed the gargoyle of the party at one point while they were in the Golden City, and the gargoyle is a gargoyle of the Golden City, marked in special ways so that people, like, branded, essentially, as that property, belonging to something very akin to the Overseers from Dishonored. So, I even have, like, the entire Overseer Order, along with all the liturgies and all that, as part of one of the orders in the Golden City. And the Golden City is a theocracy, where everyone worships the Golden One, or Pelor, the sun god, essentially. But the Golden One is a smart enough individual that she decided that evil was necessary, so she has blood mages and sorcerers in different districts of the city, like academies dedicated to teaching people blood magic and all that, so that if evil is going to exist, it should be under the control of good. Of good-intentioned people, at the very least. Fuck, I went off on a tangent and I forgot what the original topic was. I just love how much thought goes in my campaigns. Whenever situations arise, I've thought of so many different ways to... Oh yeah, so the ghost dragon chick, she takes over the gargoyle.
Oh,
the gargoyle, basically, whenever it gets possessed, automatically has red and blue flashing lights like police sirens.
I think we can use this.
Pop out. Its eyes start doing that. So she possesses the gargoyle, and the gargoyle cleric, by the way, is going wheel wheel wheel, fucking with its red and blue eyes going off, and people are like, "Whoa, what the hell's happening there? I've never seen that before. What the fuck?" And gargoyles, both D&D lore wise and even in our real life lore, are meant to harbor evil spirits and stop them from harming people. So I'm like, this is fucking perfect. You're basically holding her captive. Your body is by default holding the evil, because she was a green dragon, by default evil. Her body was holding her captive. So she decides, okay, I'm gonna get out. And the cleric, who had failed the save to stop the possession, doesn't have to do a save to let her out, so the green dragon escapes from the gargoyle's body, the lights stop going off, but the sigil on its chest, like, appears to be damaged, or the sigil on its forehead, chest, whatever, wherever I had it, appeared to be damaged as a result, so people knew that something had attempted to tamper with this gargoyle. So they find it, they take care of the gargoyle, we set the seals and the contingencies, and then they decide that they're not gonna really bother too much with it. It's like, the gargoyle's doing its job, and no one's the wiser, and the gargoyle's one of so many, so no one even pays a second thought, not realizing this gargoyle is the one from Amnesiac's Shivering Isles that they just, reset these things for. And the green dragon's just like, okay, I'm not gonna do that again, and just stays in a non-manifested form. Well, they eventually go into the district where people's, people are powering the city by just existing, and their ghosts can't leave. So she goes, and she's constantly in the ethereal world, so she sees the other ghosts, and the other ghosts warn her, like, oh, hey, look at that, it's a fucking dragon. you done fucked up coming here. And the other party members aren't aware of this because
Drink
they
his own
can't see
pee
the
doesn't seem so
ethereal realm.
crazy right now.
And she's just
Right.
walking with them, and people are poking and prodding at her and being like real fucking annoying. So eventually she's like, okay, I guess I'm gonna try to leave. Can't leave. In order to leave, you must possess someone who is already gonna walk through the door. So she has to possess the Minotaur monk, who has to allow her to possess him because it's got too high of a save. And then they go through the door, and it's like, alright, get the fuck out of my body. And then the Minotaur goes back to fighting the fucking arena and everything. That's kind of like where we're at with the campaign right now. And that's Skelly's the Gargoyle, and this is still real life crew. And I'm like, this campaign was going over so well. And they started another campaign and just forgot about my campaign. And I'm like, it's still there. I still know exactly where we're at. I still know exactly what you guys can do. All the things that were happening are still happening. It's just up to you guys whether or not you want to play.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and the last 3 weeks in a row, the person who's DMing hasn't run his campaign, and all 3 weeks I've been like, if people are not able to show up or something, we can still run my campaign. Fucking Skelly, that chick that played Among Us with us, and the other character, as well as the DM for the other campaign, all of them are the only players that already exist within the campaign that are available. So I'm like, we could just play my campaign if you guys want. But nah, they just don't. And as a DM, I've never done anything wrong to slight them. The only things I've done to slight them have basically been, as a player, why is Detect Magic not fucking doing what Detect Magic does? So it's just like, I don't know what the hell's up with these people. And why they don't want to play something that they were clearly enjoying. Because they found that shit with the Gargoyle hilarious. And they like the little
Makes
intricacies.
sense.
They like the little intricacies of me having a district dedicated to running the city that takes advantage of its citizens. The intrigue behind it, whether or not they want to do anything about that. And I'm like, do you guys want to do something about it? It is an option. You guys can try to do something about that. And then they don't bite. They just don't bite on anything. I'll give them story hooks, and it's just like, it's there if you want to do it. You don't have to do it. And then they just don't. They don't bite anything. I'm like, are you guys here to fucking play, or just try to fuck my characters?
I'll take it.
Every time we did run the campaign too, it was always several weeks apart because they always want to prioritize their campaigns or something. They can never remember where they're at, and that's what really keeps them from doing anything. Is I have to remind them every session where they're at
Been here a while.
extensively because it's been more than 2 or 3 weeks since the last session, and they can't remember their motivations for why they're doing things. I'm like, well, you guys didn't create backstories for your characters, so I can't magic up motivations for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting tired.
You guys made these characters, you should know what your characters want to do.
Right? If you're attached to your character, then you can just easily... You can easily remember why you were doing what you were doing,
Yeah.
and where you were.
The person who's running the character that's constantly doing the gladiator fights doesn't even know why they're bothering with it, because they want to roll an entirely different character. They want a new character. I'm like, that's cool, that's an option. What do you want to be? And they're like, I haven't decided. I'm like, well, until you decide, I guess we'll play with the character you got. I'm down to roll a new character for you anytime. It's just gonna start at like level 1, or in this case, characters that are rolled within the Golden City start at level 5. Because the Golden City's character, the Golden City trains up all of its people, and your backstory is kind of made for you, because the Golden City is kind of like one of those military services required of its citizens places. So you're either a merchant from outside the Golden City who has set up residence in the Golden City but isn't a citizen, and if you are a citizen of the Golden City, you've been in its military service, you've done something to support the city to some degree, and you believe in the god Pelor to some extent. Because it's a theocracy, and that's generally how it works. Now, you don't have to believe in Pelor, you can believe in a different deity. You could even be an evil person from the Church of Necessary Evil. But however it is, you'll start at level 5 or lower, and you'll have some kind of background related to what a citizen or a visitor, constant visitor to the Golden City would have. And your benefit for having that backstory and having to deal with the backstory is you start at level 5 instead of level 1, where you have to come up with your own backstory and are forced to re-level. Yeah, but if you start off as a level 1 in the Golden City, it's very easy to reach level 10. The Golden City has all kinds of things going on. You don't even need to leave the city if you build yourself for the right kind of things to become level 10 in like maybe a couple of weeks in game time, which could all get done in one session if you just want to fast forward stuff. Because the person that was doing the gladiator fights, I wasn't even having them like fight out every single fight. I was kind of giving them challenge levels, and there's like a boss style character that shows up every once in a while. They just had to fight those guys, and it's assumed if you can handle this guy, you can handle anyone weaker than them. And then there's your next threshold of enemy. Once you beat this guy, you'll level up, you know? It's just like, you fight guys like this guy for a week, and then you level up. I'm not gonna make you fight 7 people to level up your character one time. Especially if... because I don't want to roll character sheets and set up all the statistics every time.
Right.
There's no need to overcomplicate. You beat the shit out of a bunch of idiots and leveled up.
One of my favorite interactions for an enemy, in the campaign that we played the longest, the one with the barrel of meat, we were in a Temple of Storm Giants, sent there by the king. We were sent to the temple by the king to go and retrieve something for him, which was the...
Oh, I had people retrieve the Wabbajack for Wrath of Shea, fucking Sheagorath, you know?
Thing that we were supposed to find, and... Okay, actually, it was either before we found the thing that we were supposed to find... No, yes, that was before. So before we found the thing that we were supposed to... This temple, and there was a storm giant wandering around. We managed to cast prestidigitation to make a loud thunderous clap, which made it turn around as we all climbed up a ladder.
That's a little overpowered use of prestidigitation, but okay.
he let it. The DM let it slide because of the rule of cool.
Yeah.
Plus, the whole encounter card that he had written up for it was literally a card that said, "Please don't fight this."
Oh, okay.
Because we were all like level 4 at the time,
Right.
and yeah, storm giants are
Challenge
pretty.
rating like 20.
Yeah.
I mean, you say storm giants, and I think about the rock giants from goddamn the Hobbit movie, throwing fucking rocks at each other, parts of a mountain at each other. I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't want to fuck with that either.
It was definitely terrifying. That campaign just all around was very, very... It's so many... just other shit that happened in it. There was one point where our rogue fought out by the dragon of the king. For it, he was granted. So everyone in the campaign called him Lids.
Okay.
And our paladin was given a set of softly glowing gold. So we called him Light Bright. And then the monk was, the monk, his whole start because he got drunk and punched his wife in the jaw.
Okay.
I mean, the fa-
Okay. That reminds me of Neverwinter. Whenever you need to go take over Mount Hotenel from the fire giants, and I always called Mount Hotenel Mount Hootenanny. Is this she a deer or is this a hootenanny?
who's what's it? I think Wolf is past.
Probably. Probably still streaming too.
Oh, he is. It's just sitting on his, when your Xbox console goes your upcoming activities, notifications, blah blah blah.
Yeah, well, I stepped away for a moment.
Slept away.
Oh yeah, I finished that Nomad thing I was doing. Now I'm doing Whiteout. I had to stay in, I think, 8 or 9 different locations for 3 days each. And those 3 locations are all over the massive fucking world of this game. So I had to go to each of those locations and find enough food and water to survive for 3 days. And not get killed by the wildlife as I was traversing. It boiled down to me carrying around about 30 pounds of goods, reaching the location, dumping those goods, and then gathering up more goods, coming back to the location, and eating my existing goods, and then taking the food and water to the next destination. There's a bear here, and I don't have any way to kill it. Might have a way to kill a wolf here soon, though.
That would do it.
God, that is such a cool skill.
And there's a wolf on that road, so I can't go that way. I am, like, hyper screwed. I do have a knife, so I can defend myself if it attacks me. I'm just gonna have to take damage. Yeah, I got a flare. I might as well use it, right? Oh, come on, you fucking piece of shit. Run. Alright, well, that wolf is stuck, so I'm just gonna leave him alone. So yeah, that was the Nomad thing. And for the Whiteout challenge, I start off in a garage. One of the places I had to stay for Nomad anyway, and I need to gather up enough supplies to survive for like a month indoors, because in 30 days I'm gonna get hit by a whiteout blizzard that basically says you're not going outside for a while. Basically, the second I get all the supplies put into the building, the challenge is over. I mean, it's just kind of assumed I'll live through the whiteout. Man, I was hoping there might be a fucking hunting rifle here or something, but that's fine, I guess. There wasn't even a mountaineering rope there. Where's that body at? There's supposed to be a body here. Uh-oh. No pros either. Oh.
Matched with this girl on Tinder named Wolf, and she looks just as depressed as Wolf when he was in his hardcore crescent moon phase. And I just wanted to let you know I'm going to break this girl in memory of you.
What do you mean by
Appreciate it. Love you.
You're welcome.
Send them my way.
I should. We'll see how bad she is, but she's a cute girl. She's just up. She's got all the drawing, got the long hair, bad mirror selfies,
I hate
sweatshirt.
not having a weapon.
She's all wolfed up.
I dig it.
Should send her over your way.
Right?
What have we here?
Her bio says, I bury this hurt, concealed in this heart. I'm like, alright.
You know what's funny?
Just
You actually
wolf and
matched
female
with Wolf.
for you.
He's just posing as a female.
Right? Get yourself a motherfucking hooker.
Banana hammock.
Get yourself a motherfucking gun and motherfucking hooker. Na-na-na. Fucking hooker. Suck a dick, you fucking bitch. I hope you die in the tent. Suck a fucking mother. Ah. Jordan. Jordan.
Well, if you do not like it, you can suck my dick.
Cause I don't give a fuck if you don't like my shit.
What the fuck is that?
Because you don't have friends.
Can suck my dick.
This is mismatching shit. Nuggets.
Oh, we got some magic ding dang daily ding 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 magic down here.
Some ring a ding ding old thing. Let's dazzle magic. Yeah.
Ring a ding 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 magic.
And this package.
Ding old, ding old, wolf, ding old, boom out. Oh yeah, apparently one of the shows that we have available to us since we got Disney and Hulu bundle is King of the Hill.
I love
Very-
King.
Very interested in. I mean, I've watched King of the Hill, but I've never actually like religiously binge watched it. So I'm like, I wonder how much I can handle propane and propane accessories. Hours on it.
Can I put a gun rack on my bike?
Can I put a
Do
gun
you know
rack
how
on my
long
gun rack?
I've been? You know how long I've been waiting for you to ask me that?
Butterfree.
Oh, Butterfree! It's me, Butterfree.
I'm okay, Dad.
What in the fuck just happened?
I can't feel my hands.
Oh, you put the thing on the thing, and it did the thing.
And it did the
And-
thing.
And now, you get to travel through the tower going completely upside down.
Yay!
If you have the black flame thing, if you have the black flame enchantment, I would use.
One shot plus dot.
it kills them with the damage over time. Because it sets them on fire.
Likes his gray skivvies. Yeah, so that Warforged character, the Screet half only speaks in rhyme, and the Cynthia half speaks like a female robot. Like very matter-of-factly doing analytical stuff. Like, kind of like Edie, I guess, from Mass Effect. Would be a fairly close comparison. But not as independent thinking, more just like assessing situations. Like, I calculate a 75% chance of us taking damage this round. That she won't typically talk like during combat, because Screet is the bard half, he's the one that does the singing and shit. So you might as well enjoy his ability to not hurt people.
Wow, game, you had the lock on the stupid fucking hand down the fucking. Oh, God.
You motherfucker.
I'm always watching.
I'm watching you without
The social
seeing.
media star Hasbulla recently sat down
What are you watching there?
Has had enough sexpert.
I'm watching a giant interview.
Midget on an interview.
Okay,
He's a
giant midget.
baby.
That's interesting. Is it giant or
He's a
is
baby.
Now wanna. Beast now
If it's a
wants to get
giant
small
midget, is it
person.
just a normal person?
yeah, like just that's like saying, "Hey, I'm 5'6", I'm a giant midget."
304. Magic users, I swear to God.
So, do you poop normally, or does it just fall out, Wolf? Oh, so you're saying you're too small, so it's loose.
You know,
Uh-huh, yeah.
a fucking 5-gauge pipe fits up their asshole.
That's what helps you sleep at night. Alright. You stick it in
Yeah,
and it's
man.
loose. It's totally not because you're small.
Totally.
Toblerone. I keep seeing him and I'm like, I don't get the appeal. It's just, aren't Toblerones like big? I've only ever seen big and I'm like, I don't understand having this much candy. But does she breathe? I like that all three of us were like, does she breathe? Yeah. Skelly always gets on me for interrupting her train of thoughts, and I always further interrupt it by saying, "You have a train of thoughts? Damn, how's that working out?"
I could see her loving that joke over and over and over again.
Now,
I'm like, hey, I'll stop making a joke whenever you stop falling for it.
Right.
now, is it a
Hey man, either one. I imagine them both.
Fucking whore!
This stuff
You
really
fucking whore!
Oh, dear me. Wow. Okay. And nothing fucking staggers you? Like, are you for real? Nothing staggers you. You just don't give that much of a fuck. I'm fucking real. I'm gonna beat you. You're going to die. You are going to fucking die.
Sight of grace. Peace.
In her private.
I'll take it.
Going to bed.
Wow.
Alright. Yep. I will see y'all later.
Later, man. Have a good night.
You too.
You're not.
Peace, motherfucking peace.
Peace, motherfucking peace.
Yeah.
I'm gonna order food. Maybe Skelly will get back. And it'll still be warm.
Oh my god, finally you're fucking dead. Go fuck yourself. Get fucking teabag, bitch. Sick of your shit. I swear to god, if this is another boss fight, I'm gonna be pissed.
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
Fuck off! Oh, that came out of nowhere.
That's a big oops.
I'll take it.
crash when the second wrestler comes out, and it likes to crash when like the fifth or sixth wrestler comes out. Oh no, it's floating, it's floating, it's floating. It's floating, let's go! We have a hype train right now. I can't stop it though. I can't stop it. It really likes to hang on this tree. Okay. Alright, safe. We got past phase 1. The hype train thing to keep it going. I can't stop this because it might work. Alright, like I said, no music. It's gonna be very oddly quiet. That's okay. Ignore it. Oh God, please work. Oh, let me raise them. I guess we really don't need game audio because there's no music. This is 30 wrestlers. So if this completes, I'd be impressed. Alright, first wrestler, chat. First wrestler. Let's see. It's fucking Kaito! Or, you know, the Kaito that was on the marketplace. They spelled it wrong, by the way. They put keto. It's Kaito. Listen, don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I looked for a better one. There's only one. There's only one. Maybe they don't want to get sued. I got it. I got it. Okay. They got the shirt. They got the shirt for keto. That's true. He does need music. His shirt's loud enough. Alright, I could skip these. I could probably take off entrances, honestly. Because there's no music, so... Alright, who's the second competitor? Who's next, dude? Who's next? God, this game likes to fucking load. Jesus Christ. I lowered my settings. Christ almighty. This game isn't like Crisis. You can run. I know you can. I just saw you. Oh my God, it's Vegeta! It's Vegeta! Out of this world. Alright, shut up. Yeah, I should probably take entrances off. Alright. Our first two competitors, Keto and Vegeta. Let's go. By the way, thank you for all the gifted subs and resubs and bits coming in for the hype train. Thank you so much. Let's see if we can reach our first sub golden end. 10,500 for 127 away. God, I hope this fucking goes. Alright, here we go. Our third competitor coming in. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Oh, it's Homer Simpson.
That just got me killed. Wonderful.
Homer Simpson's coming in. Who's it gonna? Oh, there he is.
Fucking terrific.
It's Homer. Imagine Marge going right after Kaido. Oh my God.
Oh, now I'm all the way back down here.
Homer's getting hyped up.
Fuck.
That's your March.
Something.
There he is. He doesn't have his knife. Not allowed in the ring. Not allowed in the ring. Funny eye patch, man. We have 6 wrestlers going at it right now. Eliminate Brock Lesnar. I don't want to see him. He looks too real compared to everybody else. Who eliminated, It's on the ropes.
This will come in handy. Vegeta's currently stunned right now. The chat going for Brock Lesnar. Why is he trying to get the Giga Chat? Jeff Bezos trying to get it over. Oh my god, the chat is not fucking around. Alright, everyone's going to go. We have room for one more turn. Jeez, look at the 7 years. Thank you so much. The chat is almost a monster right now. Who's next? Who's next? We got Eric Harvey, South Park. Okay, here he comes. We have a literal child entering the ring. There he is. He is thick. He is super thick. I don't know what Malcolm was doing. He beat the shit out of Homer. Alright, we need someone to be eliminated for the next contestant. Oh, look at me. I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
Alright, finally got a hatchet. Jeez, took forever. Now I just need a gun.
DDT from Vegeta to Bezos. Who's next? Oh, it's Gordon Ramsay! Oh no! It's fucking Raw! Gordon Ramsay's hit the ring! It's Gordon! Oh, Jeff Bezos going right after Gordon. Oh no, the Giga Chat got eliminated! No, the Giga Chat! Oh no! chills in the corner, probably out of breath. Oh, Mr. T with the suction pasta. Oh, Ronald McDonald clotheslining a child. A child, no mercy. Alright, who's gonna be your next one in? We have Barney! Barney the dinosaur! He's not gonna drop any love in chat right now. Here comes Barney. There he is. Oh my god, it's Barney. Not to be confused with Barney Rubble. No, that would be kind of funny. Greg Miller. Gordon Ramsay. Oh, what a suplex.
This stuff will come in handy.
Wolverine right now. Yes. So I think these characters, with the word announcement and their entrances on the random. Homer is completely out of it. That dude is stoned out of his fucking mind. Alright, he's back in it. He's back in it. Oh my god, dude. This is a great camera angle. Oh my god, Ronald McDonald. Oh, someone got eliminated. Jeff Bezos is gone. Jeff Bezos has been eliminated. Capitalism doesn't win today. Oh, someone is so chaos in the audience. Oh no, the fucking monster. That man is upset. They love chaos, but children got eliminated. Rest in peace. He's complaining to the audience. Oh, everything's working inside. We are losing a lot of people right now. Homer still in it. I need something to drink for water. Alright, who's coming in now? Let's see what we got. We got Freezer! Freezer's coming in. There he is. Look at his little tail. Anime is back. Oh! Is Homer about to get eliminated? Is Homer time up? Gordon Ramsay with some help from Ronald McDonald. Is Homer finally out? Homer! Oh, Barney got eliminated. I just missed that. Homer is still in. Also, Ralph, thank you for the big 56 subs away. It's the Trash Man. Danny DeVito. Here he comes, the Trash Man. He's flexing. I'm the Trash Man. Let's go. That was only number 17. We're barely halfway. Oh, is Ronald about to get eliminated by the Trash Man? Let's see. Here comes Sonic the Hedgehog, the star of the hit film Sonic 2. Gotta go fast. Here he comes. There he is. He got a haircut. That's why he doesn't have his fucking mohawk thing. Oh, Mr. T doesn't give a shit. Not a fan of the movie. Oh, Mr. T just beat the shit out of Sonic. What the fuck? Oh, wow, Frieza got eliminated fast. Alright, Frieza comes off. Cell is better. Alright, who's coming next? Still can't believe Homer's in it. Oh, Ronald has been eliminated by the Trash Man. Here comes Big Smoke. Big Smoke coming in hot. There he is. Going right into Homer. Not a good idea. Not a good idea. Homer is here to fucking stay. You picked the wrong ring, fool. Oh no, the Trash Man get eliminated. No, Danny DeVito. Oh, rest in peace, Danny. Sonic's just hype. No, Danny. Oh, Mr. T, is he gonna eliminate Gordon? Is he gonna eliminate Gordon? He did! Gordon Ramsay's been eliminated. Next, we got Captain America. Chris Evans running into the ring. That's America's ass. That's America's ass right there. Wrestle no jutsu. Alright, who's coming in next? What number are we up to? Your disrespect. Number 23. The dark is here. Alright, get focused. Target focus. The YouTube screen. Captain American got eliminated. Alright, who's coming in next? Smoke might be eliminated by Dr. Disrespect. Oh, there's Gandhi! Gandhi! This man likes to drop nukes. You gotta watch out for him. Oh wow, Matt coming in for Dr. Disrespect. Big Smoke about to get that in. Oh, Matt! Slamming down Dr. Disrespect. Gandhi on the rope! Oh my god. He's an agile man. Big Smoke looks like he's right now. There's 30 contestants. Here comes number 26, Curious George. Here he comes. Without the man in the yellow hat, he cannot be stopped. Curious George is in the ring. Dad, I told you, I went a little crazy downloading characters. Alright, we have Curious George beating the fuck out of Kakashi. I love anime. Number 27.
minutes early.
Not long. Go ahead and eat. Yeah, I just finished. There's 2 slices left there. Yeah?
Thank you. Thanks for being here.
30th. What?
That's when they want to get together.
Oh, okay.
And it would require me to take the day off.
How about reschedule? Try to have them do it on a day that you're already off.
No, there's no way of that.
Why?
Because they're wanting to celebrate a special thing.
Which is?
What
What now?
The night of October.
I celebrate Christmas on not Christmas. Can't they celebrate on not the day that the actual event is?
But I went ahead and checked the day because if all else fails, I use the day to clean the house. Right?
Sure.
So if I decide to go, I go. If I decide not to go, I go ahead and clean.
Okay, just make sure they don't use up all your days because you want to be able to do that thing in January.
Okay. This is the only one I'm doing for them. That's it. Anything after that, and they're just gonna have to reschedule it. But this one lines up way too well because it's also on a new moon. So this one's a little bit special. However, it is still the only one I'm doing for this. Because for once, I actually like my job. At this point, sometimes I think I like my job more than that. But don't tell them that. They will not be happy if I say that. Yeah, I figured that would be a good day to clean. Maybe
Are you
do.
gonna eat first?
Huh?
Are you gonna eat?
Yeah, I'm gonna wash my hands. I'm handling money here.
Yeah.
I don't want to eat.
Need some first aid.
My God. Oh no! Andy, you gotta hold on! Big Smoke took over shoelaces. Andy's still in. Andy's still in. Andy is the healthiest of the four, but he might be outmatched by Big Smoke. Oh, that's just rude. Oh, God, Andy. The disrespect. Oh my God, Andy's just getting it right now. Oh boy. Okay. Oh, man is finally eliminated. And it's Hanson Squidward versus Big Smoke versus Andy Cortez, who is stunned and his feet are shaking violently. Hanson Squidward just tombstone pile drive Big Smoke. Which is a sentence I thought I'd never say. Is he gonna eliminate Big Smoke? Is he gonna do it? Is Andy gonna eliminate Big Smoke? Let's see. on the nitro rifle. How dare they? Come on, Andy. Come on, Andy. Your health is still in the green.
That's a better.
Oh, we eliminated Hansel Springler! Big smoke against Andy Cortez!
What?
You thought the wrestling you were watching was confusing?
Is Andy gonna win the Royal Rumble?
Handsome Squidward. Getting smoke.
Like they literally were they were in a wedding setting. The women were wearing wedding dresses.
Yeah. It might have been an actual wedding.
No, it wasn't.
Wrestlers have weird fucking
There is
public
no way
weddings.
that was a wedding.
They sometimes have those weddings.
It was just so odd. But they were like,
I can use this.
does anyone have any, like the forever hold your peace part, you know? And then one of the women goes, yeah, I do, and swaps them in. And then the guy's like, okay, does anyone have any other objections? And then they swap
Red heart
to
hash,
where
red
the
heart
women
hash,
and
red
the
heart
men were their own
hash.
pairs. And the guy's like, okay, anything else? And they swapped them back to the original pair. They're like, alright, you guys are couples now. And then they started tackling each other. And I'm like, what? And at that point I was like, I don't know what's happening. I was so confused. Are you muted?
No. But I can be.
No, it's up to you.
Done.
What? What?
Already muted.
Oh.
I'm really tired, so I'm actually gonna call it a night for you guys. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, drop the bell so it makes some noise. Subscribe to Twitch to catch up on 300 videos I haven't made it to YouTube yet. Y'all have a good night. Where am I? Still in Desolation Point.